Basically, what's happened is that the S1 filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission from
And that's
Facebook,
what you have to do.
Correct.
That's the organization you have to file your paperwork with before you can take something public. Otherwise, you get big wrist slaps.
This is the great regulator. They are very close now to blessing or effectively declaring effective the S1 statement, basically making it enforceable, which would then lead to the next key step in the process, which is the roadshow, which is when Facebook executives, maybe including Mark Zuckerberg, maybe not, maybe sometimes, maybe not in all cases.
Maybe with a tie, maybe not.
Maybe with a tie, maybe in a hoodie, we'll see. We'll go in, visit the investment banks and start meeting bankers, and then the bankers will start placing orders for actual stock.
Now, what does the S1 includes? A lot of different stuff. Can you, broadly speaking, take us through what that is? That isn't, is it some financial statements? It's what they're going to use the money for, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's basically all the things that you would typically find them in a 10K statement, same things.
Which is like an annual statement,
That's
an
the
annual report.
Statement. So it's very much like the annual report. It's got the financials, got the profitability, got the operational costs, capital structures and things like that. Who owns what? That's a big thing that I pay attention to is, who owns how many shares, how's the voting proxy and things like that.
And they also have in what they're going to use the money for. Because you can't just raise money and say, I want some money, can you? You've got to have a good reason.
Right, to go ahead and fund further corporate growth, I believe is what it is they said. I don't remember exactly what they said precisely.
So this could really get going really quickly. And,
yes.
and so what could we be looking at timing-wise?
The timeline, to coin a phrase, is on track probably for an IPO. The roadshow second or third week in May. Or roadshow could begin next week. IPO could happen second or third week in May.
Now, typically, the stereotype of investors is sell in May and go away, pointing to the fact that May is a traditionally soft month. And as is the rest of the summer for volumes in the market.
Sort of tapers into the summer.
Tapers into the summer. Is it wise for Facebook to be doing that then? Shouldn't they have been doing that in March or April?
I think Facebook could go out at any time that it wants. This is going to be the biggest IPO in history. I think Facebook can go out any time it wants and the market will respond no matter what.
And bankers are going to be very happy because they're going to make tons of fees off this, right?
That's right. They will make huge fees and they all have little pieces of the action, many of them do. And they sell them to their clients.
Is there anything that could derail this, do you think?
I think right now, the only thing that could potentially, that we thought maybe might have derailed it is this billion-dollar acquisition of Instagram last week, partially because it's pre-IPO. It's kind of a funny time. It seemed a funny time to be making so large an acquisition. But
especially without discussing it with the board.
Well, that's another issue.
But that is an issue, though, isn't it? I mean, if your company is going public, I mean, one thing investors want to know is that there is governance of the agents that are running the company, i.e. Mark Zuckerberg.
Right. Turned out to be a small wave, but as far as we can tell, all the sources that we've talked to say that the Facebook IPO is nice, on track, going smoothly.
Okay. Do you think this will sort of cut a swath for other companies to want to go there? They'll try and get in the wake of this, or is this just so unusual that it won't make any difference to others?
As I'm looking up at the tech companies that are starting to go out, which is kind of interesting. After Facebook, they're really not consumer companies. They're all enterprise companies. We saw Splunk go out a couple weeks ago. We've got other ones teed up.
And what does Splunk do?
Splunk is the big data analysis company in the cloud. They do a lot of, anytime you have anything that's repeated, they do a lot of analysis on it. They went out and they did very well.